Does it feel like you can't take a break for even just a moment because something bad's going to happen? If you let your guard down even just a tiny bit, the you-know-what is going to hit the fan. This is such a common reaction and response if you have been in an abusive relationship, because your neural networks are set up to do all the things to keep you safe. However, it can prolong your healing and keep you going and your neural networks strengthened this way if you don't do some work outside of abuse, right? So instead of talking about, focusing on, planning for the abuse that is likely going to happen, it is important for you to do other things. So find other interests, find a hobby, right? Do something that you've always wanted to do, but you just never did it. Because these are times when we're going to develop new neural networks. We're going to be around hopefully safe people that are going to help our nervous system see, hey, some people are safe. And with these people, you don't need to talk about the abuse all the time. So find something that you're interested in doing and do it. Does it feel like...
I know you're out there somewhere. I really know you're out there somewhere. We're going to have Sybil join us. I just know she's out there somewhere. Sybil, are you out there somewhere?
I'm here.
You're out there somewhere. I knew you would be out there. You would not let me down and leave me alone to do the show all by myself. So, Sybil, would you do me the honors and tell me, why did you lose your mind and decide to say yes to me?
Because it really became a passion for me to support survivors of abuse. And
Awesome.
I feel like I can't shout it loud enough, right? Like, what rooftop am I going to stand on to
Amen.
shout?
Yeah, I got you. 1,000%. I got you. 1,000%. What I wanted to do is find a way to just spend time with you, but still share a little bit of you with our audience on our 14 different platforms. And I went through trying to pick and choose which ones so that the chat wouldn't take over the show because I have a number of things to talk to you about. So I really appreciate you doing this today. We're going to get to a number of things kind of quick and fast. So let's jump right into it. I want to, because you trust me, and I truly appreciate that. Everybody that comes on trusts me at some point or another because they have no major idea of what I'm going to say and do. So let's jump to it. Relationship abuse. What's your take on relationship abuse? I know it's a part of your bio on your Instagram and website, but please explain. What's your stance on relationship abuse?
Yeah, unfortunately, it is rampant. It is rampant right now. So it starts in those young, like 12, 13-year-old relationships, and it continues and keeps going, and it is ongoing. And it's the club that you don't want to be a part of, and you're a part of it because it has such long-term horrific impacts. And I really specifically work with intimate partner violence and domestic violence, coercive control, whatever you want to call it. It's all the things, narcissistic abuse within a romantic relationship.
Okay. When it comes to post-separation, what's your stance on that?
Oh, it's like heartbreaking because there's this pressure and force from the larger systems and family members and friends to just leave. Right? Like, just leave and you'll be safe. And that's the belief, right? That's what's out there. And so you think once you escape, you're all done. And unfortunately, there is a new form of abuse that occurs post-separation. Some people have explained it to be worse than when they've been in the relationship because they didn't know it was coming.
Now, I really want to get into that one, but we may have to save that for another show because you piqued my interest so much on that one as well. Okay, here we go. Next one, parental alienation. What is your stance? I mean, you're a therapist. You deal with a lot of these things, but when it comes to this particular subject, parental alienation. I cannot spend enough time on this channel to talk about that, even though we've had a number of people on to do it. Hopefully you'll be able to come back for a third show or more to talk more about that. But just for today, everybody getting a chance to meet you for the first time, parental alienation. What's your take on that as a therapist?
Oh man, how much time do we have?
I know. I had a feeling you were going to say
short
that.
and sweet. So the term parental alienation is the problem. So parental alienation, as it was created, is actually a way to get sexual predators and perpetrators out of taking accountability for. That's where it started. That's where it came from. So that's where there's so much like kind of I don't know, like juice and craziness behind that term. And so parental alienation, is there a thing where one parent, an abusive parent, is trying to like turn your children against you? Yes. Is parental alienation the right word for it? No. Nope. It's not. And that's why there's all these problems. Is it sounds like a great term, but that term is more so used as a legal defense for abusers. And it works. It works in court all the time. But then I have these women that are like, and men actually, that are like, but no, my child is being turned against me. And I'm like, yes, they are. They are. And the other word for it is also problematic. It is domestic violence by proxy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard that. Okay.
Right? That's not a good term either, because a lot of people who have experienced what we consider narcissistic abuse or coercive control don't resonate with the term domestic violence because there's been no physical harm.
Oh, okay.
So that word is wrong too. It's all wrong. All of it's wrong.
You're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. Okay. Many of you know, our shows are not scripted. They are prepared, but they're not scripted. And she's messing with me right now. She's messing with me because I told her ahead of time, this last subject is one that I always wanted to get into on our platforms. And we're not going to have time today, but domestic violence by proxy. Is that what you said?
Yes. Yep. So it's domestic violence.
I've heard it only once before. Yeah.
Through
right?
someone else.
Through someone else.
So it's done through the children. The abuse is continuing through the children. Okay.
I wanted to get those, as it were, up in front, not necessarily out of the way, but at least on the table. Now, let's do something else together. Here we go. Let's see. I'm going to put that there. We do that. And how about if we're going to go like this? And then I'm going to go. Okay. So we're going to share the screen together here. All right. Here you are. This is your Instagram. We're going to start here, but there's other things I'm going to put up on the screen. And again, you trust me.
I put it out there, right?
There we go. You put it out there. That's true. Hey, it's on free use, fair use. I'm going to look this way as I read, helping you heal from relationship abuse and do this here. Manage post-separation abuse with confidence. You're a therapist, you're a podcaster, you're a speaker, a trainer. I'm going to ask you about this. Community leader. What have you been doing with the community lately?
Yeah. So I have seen over the decade plus of working with survivors that the ones that have a community within their, a safe supportive network, they heal extraordinarily faster than those who don't. And so a lot of people don't have a safe family, safe friends. They've been isolated, right? So I wanted to create a community for you all because that improves your healing. So I started the Rising Beyond community, which is a place for survivors to come together, heal, become validated with each other. And it is hugely effective and helpful. Even your community. So the people who subscribe to this, they're a part of your membership. Finding those tiny little moments, it doesn't have to be a lot, but tiny moments of safe connection and safe community, that improves your mental health. That helps you heal. That helps your neural networks rebuild to a place of connection rather than solely focused on protection.
All right. With that in mind, the show title today is Surviving Narcissistic Abuse. If you had to give just a couple of things off the top of your head when it comes to surviving narcissistic abuse, what are some things that you found beneficial that's helped you and your clients? Some thoughts on that.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, number one is trying to redevelop or reestablish connection with others, because we heal in relationship to others. That might be a therapist like me. That might be in a support group or a community like I've created. That might be going to book club at the library that has nothing to do with abuse, but that you're connecting with in a safe place with safe people. So that is honestly number one, is connection with safe people will help you heal. Number two is education. And we call it in the therapy world psychoeducation, but really it is learning what you've experienced so that there's a term for it, right? Like the first time someone hears the term gaslighting and they see what it is, it's like being light bulb, like, oh my gosh, that's what I've experienced, right? Like this ages me, but I'm like the Webster dictionary, right? Actually, Wikipedia, everyone.
We already went through this. Okay, what is this? This ages me. I'm sure. That got sure.
It does.
Okay,
like
whatever,
I read a
whatever.
I had to use a dictionary.
Okay, all right.
I had a dictionary.
All right, yeah.
But they didn't create that word just for you, right?
Yeah,
That term gaslighting isn't just for you. It is something that happens. And so when you're feeling really isolated and alone, sometimes hearing and learning the language is like, oh my gosh, this is what's happening to me. Even the term narcissistic abuse, when somebody first hears that, it's like, oh my gosh, that's what I'm going through. That's me. And so kind of that psychoeducation piece, that connection piece, those are really, really important. And then if you are experiencing or have experienced trauma within the relationship, which I think you all have, it's really hard to be in a narcissistic relationship, whether it's your partner or not, without having some relational trauma from it.
Now,
so those are kind of the top three things.
You said relational trauma. Now I'm gonna pivot, swing over to that part of the conversation. What do you mean by that when you say relational trauma?
You are being harmed by someone else. So there's a difference in trauma when you get in a car accident than when it's done by the person that you at some point trusted more than anyone else in your life.
Got it. Okay.
The trauma looks really different.
All right. Let's do this. I'm going to put this up on the screen and let's talk about it.
All right. What are we going to talk about?
This one. Does getting a message from your ex derail your entire day? Do me a huge favor. Let's go ahead and you go ahead and read it. I was going to do it, but no, you go ahead and read the phone.
Yes. So this is something you can use as you are responding to your ex. So that is a very serious concern you are voicing, and it is very important for our child's well-being that we address it together immediately and effectively. What specifically have I done to make you voice this concern? So this is what we would call like a canned response. So think about you escape from your abuser, and in criminal court, they're like, orders of protection. You should never have contact with your partner. And then you go to family court and they're like, actually, you're going to have to co-parent and have communication with your partner every day.
This is why I picked this one. Go ahead.
So you have to continue contact with your ex-partner if you have children. That is the case. And so how do they get to abuse you again and again? Many ways, but one way is through your co-parenting app or text or whatever. And so this is like literally that ding, like that notification, you stop breathing, your stomach is tied in knots. And it's like, what is my ex saying now? Like, what's the problem?
What's going on? Yeah.
And so having responses that you can use that will look good to court, right? They will look good to a judge, which will protect you and your children. And you don't have to react to it. That is what this is for. So this specific response gets a lot of ghosting.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. Didn't expect you to say that. So this response will pretty much get what you want, which is them to leave you alone.
Leave me alone.
Leave you alone.
Leave me alone. Because they're like, you're doing XYZ and blah, 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 parental alienation left and right. And so you're like, oh, wow, this is a very serious concern. Let's address it together, right? Judge is like, wow, this person can co-parent. And then it's like, please give me the specific thing I did to make you voice this, because there's nothing. There's nothing. Yeah. And they are not going to respond.
Okay, because as a person's putting this message out, if you find yourself in this situation, grit your teeth, bite your tongue.
Deep breaths.
Eat some ice cream. Give yourself ice cream as a treat or something. But make this message instead of a rant of everything over the previous X amount of years that ticked you off.
Yes.
Controlled, calm, concise, collected. This was awesome. Yep. This is really good. I love it. I love putting this out there for our subscribers and viewers. Please keep this in mind and tell everybody. Put it in the if you want to type this out. Whatever you want to do, share this with a friend. Everybody, please.
Yes.
Many of you wrote us, and you write me. I have no idea what to tell you, other than something that you probably not going to want to hear. This is much better.
We have a list of canned responses because this is literally the number one thing that comes up with the women in the community. My clients, like so many of them, they like bring in their phone and they're like, we need to respond to this message, and we respond together. Because
but you're a therapist. They come to you like a lawyer.
Oh yeah.
we need to because I am going to go over his house and I'm going to do something silly.
Yes, and it just causes such dysregulation, and it can derail your whole day.
And the children too will be affected by because the mood changes in the house. Everything will start to go a certain way. Okay, now I'm going to get to something else here. Let me get over here. I can move these screens around, and I'm being lazy today. Okay, here we go. Right. Dun, 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 dun. I just passed it. Nope, I didn't pass it. Here you go. Here you go, right here. All right, here we go.
What am I talking about here?
See, I got to turn the sound on.
Yes to something,
can you hear that?
Agree to something, just to avoid conflict. Like your insides are like, no, don't do it. And then you're on the outside like, oh, of course I can do that. So this is really common for a lot of us. And it is actually a survival strategy if you have been in an abusive relationship, a relationship with someone who is narcissistic, because your whole way of being and way of keeping safe is to limit conflict. So this trauma response is called fawning. Most people in the real world call it people pleasing, and it can be conditioned since you were a little person, since you grew up in a family where you tried to do everything you could to limit conflict. So in this week's episode of the Rising Beyond podcast with my newfound friend, Anita Sandoval, she shares her experience of generational trauma and how she learned to use fawning and people-pleasing, how that then kind of led her into doing this in relationships, which then made her a great target for abusive partners. But now she is out, she is transformed, she is helping others lose the people-pleasing ways. Go to the link in my bio or search the Rising Beyond podcast on your favorite platform.
You're good. Look at you, man. You're good.
How often do you say?
You are good. Look at you plugging your own show and everything. Okay, so let's do that real quick about the show. Tell everybody about your podcast.
Yes, I can just throw in a mic and just talk about this. It's amazing, right? And I get to meet some amazing people. Just so many amazing people. I started the Rising Beyond podcast because honestly, financial abuse is real. And so not everyone can afford my services, other people's services.
Right.
And I really wanted to give survivors just that, the information they would get directly from me in other ways, in a way that they could access it. So the Rising Man podcast is like a year. This week, I think it's like episode 92 is
really
released.
Oh, way to go. Nice. Sweet.
Show me a good time. I'm
Sweet.
talking to myself.
Way to go. That's
fun.
good. Hey, you're over 50 episodes, and you get over 50 episodes, man. You got an audience, and you got people that love you. So that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, and we talk about all things post-separation, how to co-parent with your ex. We talk about some of the trickier things of healing and things like how to use nutrition to heal your body from the inside out, people pleasing, all the trauma responses that we have, all the things. So that's the Rising Beyond podcast.
Love it. Okay, now we're going to talk about people pleasing in a moment, but you mentioned generational trauma in that particular video. Your take on generational trauma, if someone has never heard of it before, what does it mean?
Yeah, so generational trauma is we see basically almost trauma like go from generation to generation to generation. Some of it is through experience. So grandmother experienced domestic violence or relationship abuse. Then that was basically passed down in all these different ways. So it could be because the mom, right, the now mom was reading, or was not reading, but learning from those experiences that abuse is okay. This is how relationships are. This is what love looks like. And then they learn those trauma responses like fawning.
Okay.
Then they wind up in an abusive relationship. And then their children witness and experience all of those things as well. So we see that things like violence in relationships passed down from from generation to generation to generation. There's also research out there that shows that even just the effects of trauma can impact our genes. So the research done on this is actually through a lot through the Holocaust. And so Holocaust survivors, the trauma they experienced will impact their children's genes, which then impact their children's genes. And I talk a lot about the nervous system, and it kind of impacts how your neural networks form in your brain as you're growing.
Okay, so you're saying that trauma can genetically affect, if not even also impair, an entire lineage.
Yes.
It could be a legacy of trauma.
Yes. And so
either inflicted on someone from the outside or even from within.
Yeah. And if you want to learn more about that, it's intense. And the research is intense. It's called epigenetics. If you are like, oh my gosh, what is this? I need to learn more about it. Or Google search epigenetics, and there's a lot of stuff on that. So it can impact you because, it's survival. Like, how do we survive? The people from the Holocaust, the ones that survived, had specific parts of themselves that were beneficial to survival. And so that is passed down. So that's positive. And that other stuff is also passed down as well. So yes, it can be genetically and environmentally passed.
I knew we were going to, and I kind of touched on it with you, and we talked about it. We were going to try to cram a lot in here because it's the first time us to get a chance to work together, but we were going to do some other stuff in the future. But there's so much that I want to pick your brain on. But let's do something else here, if you don't mind. I want to, let's see here. Let me scroll up here. I need to do this one here. Let's get this over here, and we're going to do that, and let's have at it.
So I just learned a new term from the interview with Dr. Ramani on the Today Show that was I think yesterday. It was called future faking. So I love this term. It's what I talk about all the time, but I just hadn't heard that phrase before. But this is when the promises are made to you by an abusive and narcissistic person that things will be better, that they will do certain things in order to control what you do. So it's like dangling a carrot for you to do the thing. So if you are only a better X, Y, and Z, then I will ... Or they'll bring it back and kind of use that Darvo of, do you remember that time when we went to some vacation and it was lovely? I really want to get that again. So what you need to do is XYZ. This can happen post-separation abuse too. So if you don't push me on finances and child support related things, I won't be as much of an a-hole. Nope. They're still going to be the same level of a-hole that they were before. And so they are really skilled at doing this. And what it is the goalpost just keeps moving. So you are always off balance and you can never win. So it's important to assess, are they future faking right now?
Very good. Very good. I like the way you even
I
laughed
had
at
a
your own
filter.
video. I just see, you know what? I had already picked the video before you told me that, right? So it was like, I'm going to play it anyhow. So segueing from the last one to this one, I was going to use people pleasing to move into this one because you're going to give your thoughts on this, and I'm quite sure it's going to answer something for one of our viewers that sent me something. Is people pleasing the same as future faking?
So future faking is willful. It is on purpose.
Willful deceit per se.
Yes. Whereas, right, it is not, it is a skill and it actually has helped. So I typically tell, here's my little caveat. I tell my clients that I'm working with that they do not get to have empathy for their abusive partner. I get to do that as a therapist. I understand where narcissism comes from. I understand where all this comes from. So it was a survival skill for them. And they learned, I need to manipulate people and do whatever I can. And like, I don't care what happens to people. I can harm people to get my needs met and to get my wants met. That is what they learned throughout their childhood, either from I use this loosely, like a role model by watching it, or that's what they had to do to get their needs met. So,
and if I may ask, so then you're saying it's a lifestyle they have?
Yes, it is a belief.
I learned a lifestyle per se. I'm just kind of trying to understand.
Yeah,
okay,
it's a
you were saying
system.
Belief system. Okay,
they've learned that this works in their
manipulation
world.
works, right?
It works great, and so theirs is done on purpose, whereas the people pleasing and fawning is typically not done purposefully. It's like your brain calculates what you need to do. Like that's what our nervous system is for, is to keep us alive, right? And so we've learned over time, it is less likely to be well thought out when you're people pleasing, right? If you're like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Like, and you're saying that all the time. And you're saying yes when you're like, nope. And there's usually like a disconnect until later. And then you're like, oh my gosh, why did I say yes? I don't have time. I don't even want to do that. That's horrible.
I don't even want to do it. Yeah, I don't even want to do it. Yeah, okay.
What the heck? But the future faking or that goalpost moving is done willfully on purpose. So I get asked all the time, does my partner know what they're doing when they're abusing? They do. It is done on purpose to get what they want and to get what they need. So that's gross. And I am so sorry to like put that out there, but we need to know.
And moving the goalpost, they're really trying to move the person then? Or just
they're trying to keep
jerk
you
them around?
Off balance. Yes,
okay.
They're trying to keep you off balance. If you're off balance, then you're going to doubt yourself. You're not going to stay true to boundaries. You're going to give them the benefit of the doubt because you are great, amazing, empathic people, right? You're amazing people. And so if they can keep you off balance, you cannot see, like wrap your arms around what's happening. And so you're not going to leave and you're going to try and reach for the goalpost because it feels like it's right there, but it's actually a mile away. It's not.
And so a person in that position, let's say it's me, I'm in that position, people pleasing, they're moving, future faking. In other words, they're excuse me, I rephrase that. They're future faking. I'm off balance. Then I could be in a position where I think it's in my best interest to give up my own principles and values.
Yes. Yep.
just to keep that
Absolutely.
person because they just need a little bit more time. And in actuality, they're messing with me.
Yes, absolutely. 100%. Another thing I'm going to add to our like to be talked about on another show list.
Yes, okay. You know, the list is getting pretty long because I have tons of questions.
It's
I've got
called
questions.
moral injury. What happens, what you are
Moral
explaining.
injury? Is that
Moral
what you said?
injury. Yep.
Okay.
So it's when you act in a way that goes completely against your belief system and your values.
Oh,
So
wow.
like in your life, you would never, like I would never allow anyone to talk to me like that. I let my partner talk to me like that.
Yeah. Right.
I would never do this.
Yeah.
I'm letting it happen.
Yeah.
I would never send my children to
Yep.
stay with their, abusive
Right.
parent because they're
Their
not
uncle or whatever that is, your creepy
the
uncle.
court. The
Yeah.
court says I have to,
Yeah.
so I do. And so then that is just adds like if you're listening and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like I've been healing forever and not, like I'm not healing, it's still there. I would say I was going to say 9 times out of 10. I don't know the actual number, but a lot of the time it is because moral injury is there.
Which means the person is susceptible to lay down any type of boundaries then and just let people walk over them? Or no?
It can, because it can set you up that way, but
Okay.
it will add like shame, right? It's like
okay.
compounding shame all up on you.
Shame and
Right?
guilt
You already
all on.
are feeling shamed because you're told you are a POS and you're horrible and you're a horrible mom, you're a horrible wife, blah, blah, blah. And then you go ahead and break your own values and breach your own values.
Yeah, right.
So it's like shame all over me. So it just adds that element, and it's really hard to find okayness. That's not a real word, but find your okayness.
It is today on this platform. Get your okayness, everybody. Get you
Find
some okayness and rebound from that moral injury. We're gonna have to talk about that some more. That's gonna be another thing. Let me do this. I'm gonna move over here. I want everyone to make sure to show some love and support to our guest today, Lady Sybil. Hold on, everybody. I switched over. Let me get this, and I'm gonna do doink. Okay, so you got links. Like you got links. You got mail. You got a number of links there. Okay, so I want to, if everybody can hear me or not, just focus on my guest. Don't really focus on me. All right, free anxiety mini guide. Want to talk about that real quick, please?
Absolutely. So if your children are completely anxious going to the visits with their other parent, this is a guide that will take you through 5-10 different things that you can try with them to make those transitions easier on the way out and coming home, because your kids need you. Your kids need one safe caregiver to keep them okay and to build their resilience. And so it doesn't take both caregivers. It takes one, and that's you. And so that is what that guide is for. Almost all of the links that are up there are because my audience or the members of my community or my clients are like, gosh, I really wish I had a guide for it. I really wish I knew how to. I'm like, all right, I'll just write that. I'll just create that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get you piped into our people. We're gonna have to get you piped in because
what do you need? I'm sure
they need this kind of stuff. Okay, so what's up with the mic drop moments? It's one that I didn't click on. Should I even be careful to click on it now?
No.
Or will I be done? Did you know? So
this too is specifically from my community. So we were talking about the experiences you have, not with your ex-partner where you need canned responses for that, but all the other people in the world that say things like, gosh, your divorce was like 2 years ago. Why aren't you over that? Why don't you just talk to him about that? Or, he always seemed so nice. I just can't see him being abusive. I can't see him doing that. So this list of responses is literally specifically for those moments when everyone was like, I want a mic, like I want that mic drop moment. What do I say when someone is like, yeah, I just can't see him doing that? So what's something you can say is, yeah, I understand, because the way he presents or the way she presents out, in public is completely different than what they look like at home. Right? Boom. Yeah, you do see that, but at home they're a different person. And so it's just short little canned responses that you can use when other people don't get it. And the things they say they're hurtful. They really are hurtful. But instead of being like a crazy person and like, you don't understand it,
having a meltdown, don't do it. Don't do it.
Mic drop.
Just carry. You know what? Just go get one of those plastic mics, those little toy mics, or just karaoke mic. You just put it in your purse. Just carry it with you in your pocket, your coat. Just pull it out.
You can probably get it at the dollar store. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. This one's for you, and then let them have it too. Aren't you going to pick that up? No, that's yours.
That's for you.
All right. Fine. So let's see here. I got to get over here to this. Bam. What's happening here?
Yes. This is where I love to live. It's right. I work with a lot of trauma in my practice, my therapy practice. So my therapy practice is different than Rising Beyond Power and Control, because I can only work with people in Colorado as a therapist. That's my license.
Right.
And yet there's people outside of Colorado that need support. And again, that's community is so important. So this, I love to live here in the community. It builds, even though there's trauma there, it builds me up. I always feel so energized working with people. So we have different levels of membership, and this is for women identifying survivors. We have not yet created something for male survivors individual or like in a group format. We work with them individually in our practice. But we have a safe online forum. And I say safe because like Facebook isn't actually safe. Right? Like I'm in private.
I understand. I know what you mean. What you mean. Yeah.
So we have
I've heard that before too. I haven't experienced it personally, but I've heard the same before.
It's not safe. And so if you need a safe place, we create a safe forum so you can ask questions, you can vent, you can share different things, but it's like those quick little moments of connection. There are a ton of resources. We have a small group, so it's a support group. It is run only by licensed therapists.
Awesome.
Mostly me. I have another therapist that works with me too. And we have other events. So any of the workshops we run, any of those things, all of our community members have access to all of that. Additionally, they don't have to pay extra. But it is a place where you will feel seen. You don't have to defend yourself. You don't need the mic drop moments in our community.
Yeah, you don't have to look over your shoulders, essentially, what you're saying, to be concerned about predators sneaking in. Because that's what I heard about Facebook. I
require like IDs to be sent to me, like your photo ID, and then your first time being at a live event, you have to have that camera on so I can make sure
No,
who it is, because predators will do anything. Anything.
Yeah. Pretty bad.
Yes.
They do some bad stuff. Then you belong here. Welcome to our tribe. Speaking of the tribe, I'm going to ask you about this. Turn this way over. The Rising Beyond podcast is your testimonials. Podcast and community has given me the insight, comfort, and validation to move on with my life confidently post-divorce. That word confident is even in your bio. Why is that word so important to you for those who are surviving narcissistic abuse?
Yeah, because there's this belief that that victims of domestic violence and narcissistic abuse are, like sad, low income, low education, they're a hot mess. That's the belief that those are the only people that are harmed. And what we see is that a lot of the victims, I don't love that term, but are they were really confident. And then they met this person. And that is what is stripped away from you, is your autonomy, your confidence, your sense of self is stripped away. And so when you can start feeling that confidence back and knowing who you are, what you stand for, that is a huge piece of the healing process, just that confidence in knowing who you are and your values. So that is extremely important to all the members of the community. And I want to instill that in everyone that is possible.
Awesome. Okay. Here's time for me to throw you a little something weird. From your own thoughts, why is it important for people to be careful when it comes to communities? Are all quote unquote coaches and above, beyond, are they all safe to deal with?
No. And it makes my heart break. So there's a couple of things to kind of look out for. So one is, so many survivors of relationship abuse want to help other survivors, right? It's like they've experienced this. They don't want anyone else to experience this. They want to help. If you are not far enough along in your healing process, healing journey, you can cause harm to other people. And it's not on purpose, but you can cause harm. And so that is one way people are harmed. Another way people are harmed is because guess who are really great targets for further abuse. So we've actually seen some of these communities that are out there run by narcissists.
Yeah. That's why I brought it up. That's why I had to ask you.
And so when you're at your lowest and you're needing this community the most.
Yes. Yeah.
Guess who's going to swoop in and take you up and just, make you feel so welcome. And then bam, they're stealing all your money.
Yeah. And dignity and pride and any confidence and all the above, especially if they've done the work already. It's what we have had others reach out to us and mention to us, especially lately, that there are a number of people who come across as if they're going to help somebody post-divorce or a number of other things, or mainly, with all due respect, mainly a lot of men. And you got to watch out for them, because sometimes they're extremely quiet. They can seem really philosophical, like they're helping, but in actuality, they are not what they are. Many of them have to go buy their followers and subscribers and come across like they've got 3, 4, 5,000, 35,000, whatever subscribers and so forth. And people think, oh, wow, they have a big following. In actuality, they're looking to cause havoc in individuals' lives. So please, everyone, listen to the therapist. Be careful out there.
If your insides are saying like,
hey, cut them off.
That felt weird.
Yep.
It's weird. Listen to your insides.
Yeah, listen to, Yeah. Everybody else may not understand. They go like, why are they not talking to that person anymore? Because that person has said and done things that shows that they are not thinking right. They've got an emotional manifesto to hurt other people or cause havoc. Yeah.
If there's inconsistencies.
Yep, that's it. Yeah.
You got to pay attention to that.
Yeah. So everybody, please be careful. I appreciate you saying that. I know you weren't expecting me to bring that up, but you're not expecting anything I'm going to be bringing up. So
it's all right.
Okay, because you're not going to expect this either. Here we go.
Great.
Here we go. Let's see. Let me do this over here, everybody. Bam. All right, and then I'm going to do this over here and go like that, and then we're going to do. Here we go. Didn't see this coming. All right.
There I am.
Could you do me a huge favor? Let's discuss this. It says you are absolutely worth it to eliminate abusive people from your life. Removing those who do not see your amazingness will give you more space to add people who do. Let's talk about that.
Yes. So many, think starting in middle school. Right? We're starting in middle school.
I didn't expect it. I expect you to say that. I'm going like, okay, where are you going with this?
You're with your group of friends. And the most important thing is being able to sit with someone at lunch, right? So you're with people and they still treat you like complete crap.
Okay.
Right? They're bullying you, whatever. And in that space, and I work with kids too, kids will say it is easier to deal with the abuse than it is to be alone. So they
I'm
will
sorry.
stay with,
Repeat that one more. Repeat that one
it
more
is,
time because I've heard adults say that. But go ahead.
yes, it is easier to stay with abuse than to be alone at lunch, is what they're telling me. And so often there's this huge fear that if you eliminate the people who are abusive, who are harming you, who don't listen to your boundaries, that you will be alone. Initially, you might feel alone and you'll be healthy. Alone and healthy is way better than with someone and not
Yeah,
healthy.
I
And
got you.
so if being able to remove those people will really allow you to bring healthy people into your inner circle. And you'll be able to see more clearly when you have people that are mirroring back to you your amazingness, because the people that are abusive, they want you to think you suck,
Yeah,
because then you will
yeah,
not leave them.
yeah.
So they are not going to mirror the positive qualities back. And if those are the only people around you, you will feel horrible all the time. And so give yourself some space to have some safe, amazing people show you who you are, which is amazing.
Absolutely. I love the amazingness. I just love when you put that in there. The person who's trying to make you see that you're not worth it, the emotional bully that's doing that, toxic bully, toxic person that's doing that. What if a person can't distance themselves from them or remove them? What are some things they need to keep in mind so that they can maintain their own dignity?
Yes. Yes. I think that first, that just understanding of, I'm not going to be able to completely go no contact with this person. They're a family member. They're your, parent to your child, whatever it might
Boss,
be.
whatever. Yeah.
Yep,
Right.
whoever it might be. And so it is making sure that you do have spaces and people where you are seeing positive things mirrored back to you, because that's going to kind of counter. You can start questioning, okay, they're saying this. We always talk about remember the source. Do you trust the source of the information that's coming to you? So if one person that is completely full of BS is telling you like, oh, you're such a horrible parent, and you're like, let's think about the source. Where's that coming from? Whereas if it's someone you fully respect and they are honest with you and they feel safe, and they're saying, you're a great mom or you're a great dad, and you trust them, which one holds more weight? The person that you trust will hold more weight. And so, as far as you can bump those people out of your circle, out of your inner circle, the better.
Yeah. I love it. Love it. Great advice. Great advice. Absolutely great advice. Okay. Again, you have no idea. Here we go. Would you like to read that for us, please?
Yes. I'm starting to remember who I was before you convinced me I was worthless. So that it is so powerful. And as a therapist, I have the honor of witnessing these moments where someone is starting to find their sense of self, who they are, and they start to set a boundary, right? Because you can't set boundaries, successful boundaries, if you don't feel like you have any worth. You're just like not able to do it. So when you start to realize I have worth, you will start to be able to set boundaries, which is kind of what we were just talking about, of like pushing people out so that you can bring the good in. And so it's all this piece. So I love when my clients, when our community members start to remember who they were before. Maybe they want to leave some of that behind and take on new parts of themselves that they wouldn't have done if they were still with their abuser.
And
So
that's got to happen quite a bit, huh? That's a lot, huh? A lot of people end up
it's amazing.
digging up stuff that the abusive person, toxic person buried on top of their good qualities, talents and the skills that they were doing quite well, just fine before they met that person.
Yes. Yes. They were on top of the world and really empathic and a great person and going somewhere, which is like bread and butter, like ideal for someone who's narcissistic. They want to take all of that from you. And so it's like, how do you dig yourself out of that so that you can see yourself again?
Well, for a person to move away from or rebuild, start moving away from feeling worthless on a regular basis and start to regain their own dignity, tell me from your professional opinion, do they need to focus more on the narcissist? This is kind of a dumb question, rhetorical even. Or should they focus more on restoring what has been lost?
Restoring, right? Focusing on you. It's like, this is so cliche. I apologize for the cliche.
I was feeling bad about my question, but go ahead. Yours is gonna. You're a professional. Go ahead. Mine.
Right? It's like
I'm just a guy with a mic, but go ahead.
Put your oxygen mask on first.
Yeah, I knew you. Right? I had a feeling you were gonna go down that road. But go ahead. No, I've heard it. No, it's been over 550 shows I've done. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Because if you're not okay, the people that you're caring for will not be okay.
Yeah.
And so it is so important to focus really on building you. You need to understand the narcissist and what's happened to you. You do need to understand that. And it is a rabbit hole, everyone. I can't see all of you out there, whatever, but how many of you have like Google searched narcissist abuse? You 3 hours later.
3 hours later. That's pretty good.
You're like you have watched every video and you've read all these things and you still feel like, but I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yes. So
they watched enough videos and start making their own and they still will go, I just don't get it.
No. And here's why. Really short answer. I don't know how much time we have, but
no, go ahead.
That you probably ask yourself, oh my gosh, I must be the narcissist, right? Because they've told you you are.
I watch so much now, they've become the narcissist.
Well,
I did do that to my brother. Well, I did it to my sister.
I see it. But the reason you can't understand it is because it is not who you are as a human, right? Like I theoretically, like up here, cognitively understand how a narcissist is who they are. How they can do the things they do, how they can harm people on purpose. But I still can't
it's like distasteful. Yeah, it's like
I could not do that.
Like you're sucking a lemon all of a sudden. You're like, what's that smell? I can't do that. Yes. Against your DNA, your emotional DNA is like, it's not going to lean into that. No, even when you get provoked, it's not a part of your lifestyle.
No, you're not going to be able to embody it. And so when you're feeling revenge and you're like, I'm going to revenge, and then you do it. And then you feel shame. Yeah. It didn't work out for you. That worked out for the narcissist. It did. It worked out. That made them feel amazing. And you feel shame. And you're like,
there's the difference right there. There's your sign. As Jeff Foxworthy would say, there's your sign right there.
Yes. So if
you feel that shame, then you're probably not approaching that. But a person can go down a rabbit hole of looking up stuff to the point. They can get confused. You guys just need to go over and you just need to go contact Sybil. That's all.
Join me.
Yeah, just there you go. Join her community, and there you go.
Come join me. And if you're like, because trust is really hard to build, right? Like, who am I? I'm some lady here. Like, you could be like, Sybil's a narcissist. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's the other reason kind of the podcast is helpful, is because I am this. Yeah. I am this. I am authentic. Yeah. With more bad words.
She goes, it's NATV. I can't get away with it over there.
More bad words.
They'll cancel me in a heartbeat. They'll keep you on the air. They'll just get rid of me.
I cuss like a sailor. But it is a way to get to know me before you jump in, right? Because we do have people that building trust is really hard because your trust has been smashed.
This is true.
It's been smashed. So even if you're like, maybe.
Yeah.
And you can come, with no strings attached. Come listen to me on the podcast. Come listen to who I have, because who you connect yourself with is important to know. And so the people I have on my show, that's really important to me, that they have integrity and that they are who they say they are. That's
You beat me to it. I was going to and they're not phony.
Yes.
They're not.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
You got to
that's
watch out
important.
for the phony and the fake people out there, everybody. But right now you got the real deal in front of you, letting you know that they're available to help you
Yeah.
out. We appreciate that you take out of your time to let us showcase you on our platform. A few more things before we go. You know what? Here we go. I'm going to get back over here and I'm going to do, it's time, everybody. It's time, part of the show when I do this.
Yes.
Please share with us, the audience, viewers, our subscribers and members, whatever's on your mind that they can take from you when it comes
Yeah.
to advice. I try to keep that long intro so it gives people time to think, but you probably don't need that. But go ahead.
No, I've got so much to share. But the most recent, excuse me, the most recent thing that I want to share is, so Paxton knows this, but I didn't have power or internet.
I didn't even think you were going. I was waiting to see what you were going to say. I didn't say it. I just
No.
everybody. I didn't bring it up.
Like 5 days.
Go ahead.
We had a snowstorm here in Colorado. Okay. So why did I bring that up? Is my nervous system was a wreck, right? I've got 2 boys that I have to keep entertained. They are so upset.
Ages. Let
13 and 8-year-old boys that they wanted during their snow day. They wanted to be on screens, headset on, yelling, cussing at their friends in whatever game they're playing online. So that is what they wanted, right? We didn't have heat, right? We didn't have all the things. And I had the pleasure of keeping my children occupied. I had to cancel on Paxton. I had to cancel on my clients. All of my therapists here, my practice, right? It was a disaster. And what is interesting is my nervous system was a wreck. And it's not usually. So why I bring that up is because within the last week, had to use my own advice all the time. So,
before you go any further, I put the wrong name up. I'm going to change it for the first time ever in all the number of shows that we've done. Let's just call it this now. Just go
rant by sibling. I do them sometimes.
Go right ahead.
So the advice piece of it is I had to take my own advice the whole weekend and then some. Because when you are feeling hyper vigilant, you are in fight or flight, you might even drop into freeze of like, I can't do anything. Like there is nothing I can do at all to function in this moment.
Okay.
There are things you can do. And so if you are in that space of constant anxiety, or you're past that point and you are frozen and feeling depressed, feeling like you are procrastinating everything, you can't do the thing. Here are the things that you can do that do help. So one is finding micro moments, little pocket-sized moments of connection with a safe person. That doesn't have to even be a therapist. That can be you're texting your friend. It can be that one snuggle with your child. When my 8-year-old will still snuggle, my 13-year-old.
Oh yeah, he's a boy. He's 13. Yeah, they kind of go through. Yeah.
But those small conversations, and they don't have to be these like hour-long amazing things. Small moments, pocket-sized moments of connection will help. And anytime you're feeling like that rise, connection, little connection, little connection. So that's one thing. This is, everyone talks about it and it works, but finding a time to notice your breath and slow down a minute. Take a minute. And, people talk about all these breathing techniques. All you really need to know is your exhale needs to be longer than your inhale. So if you focus on that, that is all you need to know. It actually decreases your heart rate. So inhale and really do that strong exhale. So that I did that. Oh my God. So if you notice yourself sighing all the time, like, guess what? Your nervous system is trying to regulate your heart rate. It's trying to calm you down. So sigh all day long. It's fine. Have those sigh moments. As long as you're safe. If you're still living with your partner, you need to sigh in the bathroom because that's going to cause.
Wait, so if they're the cause of the sigh, is what you're saying?
Yes. Then you got to sigh elsewhere.
You got to.
And then the other piece that was so helpful and constant is really focusing on what is in my control. What is in my control?
Mhm.
Stupid power line is I can't strap on my, I don't know, lumberjack gear and like climb up a pole and fix this power line. I can't do that. Right.
That's
So what
that's
is in
that's
my
kind of the way you
control?
sounded last week when you sent me the message that you couldn't do the show, and you went on a little rant in the messaging back and forth. I said, I guess you need to go ahead. I'm listening, girl. Go ahead, get it off your
Yes.
chest.
Yes, right, because all of the things that were causing me complete dysregulation were outside of my
Yeah.
control. All of it.
Okay.
I can't. It snowed 20 inches. I can't control that.
There it is.
And
Yeah.
so only focusing on what can I
Yeah.
control? I can control the
Yeah.
connection. I can control my time with my boys. I can be silly. I can be playful.
Mm-hmm.
I can cancel things.
Yep. That's right.
So what is in your control will help you if you really focus on that. If it's not in your control, you're going to stick it over here for just a minute
Yeah.
so that you can focus on what you can control. So rant over.
No, I like it. I've never had a rant thing, so now I think every show you do, we're gonna have forget the advice segment we normally have been doing. We're gonna have a rant segment because I've never had one before, and I think it worked. You did really well, so well. Okay, so that was really great rant / advice that you gave. A number of things we want to talk about together. And hopefully we'll be able to do so. That's the end of the show, everybody.
Yeah.
There's so much more I could put up on the screen, things that I prepared for the show. But because of some things that were said today, let's package it and put it together in another show. But thank you so much for doing this, Sybil. I really appreciate it. I appreciated us connecting and everything. You're an amazing person. I love your teaching skill and ability. But more importantly, I love the passion that you have to share what you know in such bite-sized ways that people can really consume it and absorb it. And you give some really practical advice that people can apply. I'm not going to tell you anymore because,
I'm glad.
you probably got more important things to go do. And I don't want you to get a really big head. So, you're going to have to.
I got to text one of my kids and be like, has your brother eaten yet today?
I try to end the show before you keep going. This is some priceless stuff right here. She said, you guys need to, one of these days, we should on purpose just do it where you just get to going because you're so professional. And then when you do that other part, you're so a mom.
No.
I should make a show that's called So a Mom, and you should be the star of the show where you just literally, because you're like, I'm teaching a training class today, but let me tell you what my 13-year-old is like. I like that both parts.
So if that doesn't resonate you, I'm not for you, right?
Oh, you're like me on that. It's like, hey, you ain't got to watch this show.
But if it is, this is all me all the time. That I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real with you always, honest always.
Yeah, you sure be laying it down. Okay, all right. So we appreciate it, Sybil. Thank you, everyone that's got a chance to meet Sybil. You get a chance to spend more time with her as time goes on. And she puts some more show stuff together for you. But we need you to, everybody, like I'm always telling everybody, here we go. Bam. Please make sure you go follow her on Instagram. And rant time is over. But you can go rant some more with her on her website. She go like, no, please don't bother me with that. She goes, don't do that. Please make sure you go to her website and check her out there. I appreciate everybody, all of you. Make sure I got everything here. Hey, you know what? You better go. And actually, just hang on for a minute. We're going to be off camera, everybody. You kind of know how this goes. Let me get a few things off the screen because this is live. You will be able to see this on Instagram. Instagram, my Lord. You will be able to see this on YouTube. I'm moving some stuff here. I got everything here. Okay. You will be able to see this on YouTube. I'm going to polish it up a little bit and do some post-production, and I'll put it out there for you guys, for the members to get a chance to take a look at it and some other stuff. But you can also watch it on Facebook, both of our Facebooks, on LinkedIn. Of course, we're on Twitch, and we also are on Twitter. You must go to and subscribe to Sybil's YouTube channel, which is...
It is Rising Beyond Power and Control.
Bam, baby. There it is. Okay, everybody. We love you guys a lot, but we'll see you later. Sybil, you and I go off camera. So if you see where it says stop camera, something like that, but we just stay there for a moment, and we're going to do that. Your turn. If you can do that too. We both are still here. Or if you can. Okay. So, and then I'm going to, everybody gets to watch this going, what is he doing? What is he doing? You get to do that. Check that out, you guys, man. All right. All right. Everybody, we're still here. And because it's live, I get to goof off while it's live. So, and I'm doing this with Sybil. Normally, I don't do this, but here we go. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And we're going to do that. Do this. Okay. So now, Sybil, I'm going to ask you a few things. Can you hear me, by the way?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So here we go. This is going to be surprise time for Sybil. She has no idea I was going to do this. So here we go. Sybil, in a few words, in the least amount of words as possible. Okay, I know that's kind of hard. The least amount of words as possible. What is gaslighting?
Gaslighting is getting you to doubt yourself.
Okay. What is triangulation?
Triangulation is a way to get people to fight each other so they're not looking your way where the problem actually is.
Ooh, man, you're good. All right, can't stump her yet. Okay, Sybil, in the least amount of words as possible for the viewers, subscribers, and members, what is love bombing?
Love bombing. It is where they wear a mask, an abuse person wears a mask and treats you in a way so that they can hook you, so they can abuse you later.
Ooh. Wow. Okay. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay. Here we go. This one's going to get her, you guys. I promise you. This will get her. Sybil, in the least amount of words as possible, what is Darvo?
Darvo. That is where someone will, instead of taking accountability, they are going to put the accountability on you.
That's pretty good. What does the D stand for?
I don't remember. Distract?
Got you. I win. No, I didn't win nothing. Okay, I just wanted to just see what happened. I forgot to. Don't ask me. Don't ask me at all. I have no idea. None whatsoever. I appreciate you being here, everybody. Thank you for stopping by. You people get out there and go have a good life. Stay focused. Just a little while longer. Everything's going to be all right. Take care of yourself. We'll see you guys later. Thanks, Sybil.